Hi there, it is my hope that your week has begun well. Today, we are going to be talking about the challenges that we face when setting priorities. And, or rather, it may not be you, it could be just me alone going through this problem, setting priorities and how to overcome those challenges. Let us see. Hi there, have you subscribed to our channel? If you haven't, please do. Yes, please. Okay. Now, like I've said, today we're going to be talking about the challenges that we face when setting priorities in our lives. And I will say, I don't know whether you are a victim of finding yourself being there for everyone, from the neighbor to the person in church, to the person on the road, to the person everywhere. Now, when I was in the HR office, one time my boss told me, Josephine, it is okay not to respond to a text that immediately. It is okay not to respond to a text immediately. It is okay not to respond to a call immediately. It is okay not to respond to an email immediately, especially if it is not urgent. And I was wondering to myself, texts are there to be responded. That's why I have a phone. And calls are there to be picked. That's why I have a phone. But then, right now, it makes a lot of sense. Especially when I started doing the training and mentorship. You have spoken in a school where there are 800 students and another school as well. You have met different people in different platforms and you have shared something. Then you have their number. So at some point, they'll reach out. Over the holidays, I have quite a number of messages that come in from students who are sharing about an issue that is happening at home or something that happened at school and they're wondering how to handle it. And I found myself in a situation where I was very busy responding everything every time someone has sent a text, someone has called, I respond. And I used to think it's rude not to respond to a call that has come in. It is courteous to send a message and say, may I call you back later? Because sometimes you may be having a project and the moment you divert from that project, your thoughts kind of get jumbled up and you go back and sit and you're like, where had I reached? Let's say, for example, you are writing and there's that train of thought. Everything was just flowing. And then a phone call comes or an Instagram notification. Then you find yourself on Instagram. You were just there to read one notification. You read not only two, you go to someone else's handle, you look at all their photos, you go to another. By the time you realize, it's been 2 hours on Instagram. Then you find yourself on Facebook. You want to post something, a business, maybe you're selling stuff, you post one thing, and then you find yourself looking at other people's photos. By the time you're getting from when you're living, by the time you'll be saying, now I've left social media, you've spent a huge amount of time. Now, I don't like saying that we need to have a list, a to-do list. I don't know, you need to be ticking the boxes every day and saying this is what I want to achieve and this is the other thing I want to achieve. What I would like to say is, it is you who knows what an emergency is. Because in the current world we're living and the dog can't stop barking, for heaven's sake. Yeah, hi. Yeah, anyway. So you find yourself responding to so many emergencies. And these days there are so many emergencies. Between the gas that is out, for someone that is an emergency. For someone who's been jilted by a boyfriend, that is an emergency for some. For others, it's they don't have water, it's an emergency. For another person, electricity, and it's an emergency. For other person, their high heels are not matching with the dress they wanted to wear. It becomes an emergency. For another person, it could be their password, they have forgotten their password. For another person, it could be their machines are not working. For another person, it could be we all have emergencies. It is up to you and I to decide and to determine what is a true emergency, what is an emergency to us. Because the question is, sometimes we find, or rather the thought, what I'm thinking right now is, many people will come to you and they'll be like, I need this and this is happening in my life, da da da. But you'll find yourself in a situation where no one asks you what is happening in your life. So every time someone needs your help to achieve something, but is there anyone who is there for you to achieve what you need to achieve? So I know it sounds selfish that sometimes you have to think of yourself, but yes, please, you have to think of yourself. Because where we are at, everyone has become quite selfish. Well, scratch that. Not everyone. Some people have become very selfish. Because I'm not selfish, I try not to be selfish. Yeah. So, some people have become very selfish. They want you to be there for them, but they're not there for you. So you have to ask yourself, you have to weigh, who is worth my time? I know we have to be there for people and we have to help them, but sometimes we do that at the expense of all the things that we have got planned for ourselves. Having goals is not bad. Setting your priorities is not something that you need to apologize for, because at the end of the day, you realize that if you don't set those priorities, you don't achieve your goals, they are the same people who will be saying, look at her and the way we thought and the way she was and the way he was. So, you know, being a parent, you're like in customer service all the time, because anytime a phone call can come in and tell you, oh, your child is not this, your child has done this and this is happening, something is missing at home, blah, 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 blah. So being a parent, it's like, it's the most beautiful gift. I salute all the parents out there. But then I want to talk to those people who are working, those people, even for a parent, there are those calls that it's a must pick. When that phone call comes in, it's a must pick. But also there are those calls you'll be like, where, watcha, I just do this. Let me handle this thing first, then I can call this person later. Otherwise, you're always like in customer service the whole time and you're not able even to handle anything. So, false emergencies. What is the definition of emergency? Because you can be there handling everyone else's emergency, but is that really an emergency? You can just tell the person, may I call you back later. But if maybe you really, from the tone of the message, or how, depending on how you know your friends, yeah, you'll be able to tell whether it's a real emergency or it's a mini emergency. Then you can talk to that person later. Sometimes I think, for me, I even say a prayer, just say, wow, I don't think I'm able to handle anything right now. I can say a prayer and that will help. Don't prioritize easy. We have talked about don't prioritize false emergencies. The other point is about don't prioritize easy, because sometimes we prioritize on everything. We prioritize everything but ourselves and what we want to achieve. And people will not like you. People will not like you when they find that you're not there like you used to be for them. They'll start saying, oh, she's now too proud because she got a good job, or she's acting like that because I don't know what. But as long as you know from your heart that you're not doing all that because you don't like those people, but just that you need to do something, and then you can handle that. Like I've said, it is you to see, to analyze and see, is this worth handling now, or can I handle it later? So don't prioritize easy, prioritize progress. Don't prioritize on the things that are easy. I used to have that challenge of when I'm scared of a task, I find myself doing the easiest on the to-do list, but I don't want to handle the meat of everything, where the meat is. I don't want to look at it. I don't even want to think about it. I just want to handle these small things that are happening around, and I'm happy because they're easy. But when you handle the bigger thing, the meat, there is progress. So let us prioritize on stuff. Let us set some priorities. Like I said, you don't need a list to do that. It is you to see what is important to you and how even to deal with all these things. Like I said, there's so much noise and there are many things like that are happening. Wow, I've spoken so fast. Yeah. So I wish you a very beautiful week as you set priorities. May God bless you. May He guide you. May He be with you in all that you do. See you around and take care. Please subscribe.